So this episode's all about style and what's gonna make this a one-of-a-kind truck from Gas Monkey.
We got a lot to do and not a lot of freaking time to do it.
Today we're at Titans of CNC. These guys are absolutely the best, the pinnacle of CNC machining. They make stuff for the space shuttles and for, you know, the governments and all kinds of wacky stuff. But, you know, at the end of the day, they've got every kind of piece of equipment here. They just happen to be down the street from Gas Monkey. I had a crazy idea that I wanted to enhance the grille and the lettering and the side trim possibly for our GMC truck. And when I say enhance, I mean, the stock piece is a stock piece, but I wanted to kind of push it in a little bit and make the eyebrows a little meaner, give it a little bit of a look. You know, I want people to walk by and go, wait a second, I don't know what's going on here, what's happening? You know, these guys came by the shop, I was out of town, they talked to the guys, found out what we wanted and how we wanted it, and then it's like, y'all do your magic. So that's what we're doing today, is we're gonna see what their magic is all about.
Titan, hey,
right on,
what's up,
man?
Richard, man? Good to meet you, man.
Good to meet you, man.
Awesome.
I really appreciate you jumping on this project for us. We're a little bit behind the fence line, so to speak, right now. I'm trying to get it done, but this is unbelievable,
Yeah,
man. This is one solid piece.
We made it out of like 500 pounds of 6L4V titanium right there. Just show people the tool paths, like how to cut metal, and sometimes it's hard to even drill titanium. And they're like, you're doing an octopus, man. Crazy.
That is crazy. I mean, I know just enough to know that that's got to be probably the only one in the world.
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely.
I wouldn't want to know the amount of tooling and stuff that went into doing this.
Well, what's cool is like we're all about American manufacturing and bringing jobs back, right? And to do that, you got to take technology and the know-how to the highest level. So we'll do an octopus. I'll talk about the octopus on my arm and like growing up, you know, homeless and stuff. Create a cool story, but then we'll bring in the right tools, and where like people usually go like, you know, at a speed level of like here, we'll take it to right here. Because time is money, right? So it's not only are we making an octopus, but we're teaching machinists all over this great country and the world for that matter, like how to actually machine titanium efficiently, like 4 or 5 times faster than ever before. And it's cool. Barry actually came to your guys' facility, and Barry used to work at General Atomics making like Reaper drones and just crazy products and stuff. And yeah, man, now he's like designing your parts. He's a monster and super good.
Super cool, man. This is rad. I mean, I had just a regular Haas machine, and I swear to God, I lost $500,000 on that machine between hiring people that didn't know what they were doing but said they did, or having somebody that could maybe design but couldn't work the machine. And I finally just got, I was like, God, I got this really nice machine here. I can't do anything with it, so I sent it back.
Yeah. And what's cool now, we have like CNC Expert. It's literally a social media platform for machinists by machinists, so you can actually learn how to run that machine, have free curriculum, everything's free, and basically your guys would be able to just go on there and actually learn how to run that machine, and you wouldn't be losing money, man.
Well, these machines seem a little more complicated than the
yeah. But it's all levels. There's levels in the game, just like in, you know, when you're a mechanic or whatever. Like, so being a machinist, it's just about rising up, and if you have the right teacher teaching you every little facet of the game, then you're gonna be one step further, right? So quicker.
Yeah. I mean,
Awesome.
I'll say it again to my people out there. If you haven't seen these guys on their YouTube and out there on their social media channels, you've got to go check them out. The story's phenomenal. The products and everything they're doing here is really, really cool. I guess if my team transferred the information correctly, we got this grill, and I wanted to just kind of push and pull it a little bit so that it just had a little attitude. Not, you know, not crazy dramatic, but just enough where people would go, what the hell's going on in there? That's crazy. So what do we got?
Yeah, so we got the scan you guys sent over, and you can see that it's not exactly optimal, but we were able to work with it.
Whoa.
So from that, we took it and turned it into this. So
Boom.
That's pretty crazy.
yeah, man, so we made it in 2 halves, and we made a center section that binds it all together. So it's gonna be a lot beefier than the one that you guys brought over.
The stock ones and even the repo ones, they're real thin, you know, but they do the job. They're just a beauty appointment. But what is this? You got a little grill back here?
Yeah, I filled in those holes with just solid material and then went in and put holes in them. I thought it would give it kind of...
You probably just zoom in a little bit. Go ahead and pop this
I gotta get my glasses on. I can't tell if those are holes or octagons or...
Yeah, they're holes for now. We can put whatever we want in there though. We can put honeycomb in there. We can put an iso grid in there. We can put holes in there.
I think we're good with that.
100% CNC machine. Solid.
Yeah, out of billet. And they're not going to be small pieces of material either. They're going to be 6 inches thick, 18 inches wide, and 38 inches long. So we're looking at about 800 pounds of aluminum that we're going to start with.
Wow.
Murder some material.
And what do you think it'll end up weighing when it's done?
I would say probably around 80 pounds.
Super cool.
Heck yeah.
But I'm sure y'all recycle all the material when it comes out, right?
Oh, yeah.
Just like aluminum cans, we have big old barrels and people come and grab those barrels.
What did we do with the eyebrows as far as, did you bring them out anymore or?
Yeah, so everything's out a little bit more. It's hard to tell without overlaying the scan, but basically we took the center sections in, like this used to come out
so
to a
that's like
point.
concave.
Yeah, it used to be convex, but now it's concave. We brought out the front here a little further, made it perfectly flat. You know, the original that you guys brought us was a little bit bowed, and so that'll be a good shiny surface there. So it should make everything pop really nice.
That's wicked. Now, do you ever like try to scale down and make a small one first before you attack the big stuff, or how does that work?
What we're actually going to do is we got a partner that does large scale 3D printing.
Okay.
We're going to see if they can't 3D print us a plastic one so that we can bring it over there and fit check it before we actually go in and make the metal one.
That sounds like a good plan. What does they say? Measure twice, cut once?
Yeah.
No, that's super rad, Barry. I like that. I hope you are ready to make a bunch of these. People are liable to want them. But super cool. What about the lettering? What did we decide?
Yeah, so we had a couple of options. My initial thought would be to make it easier for you guys to not have to cut these original letters off, would be to make something that actually fit over each letter. But me and Josh talked about it a little bit, and he said that you guys would rather just have clean letters. So what we're probably going to do is have to cut these off and put the new ones on.
The blocks didn't bother me. You showed me that, a picture, right? The 3 blocks?
Yeah.
I mean, as long as we do the same thing in the front, then I'm cool with that. Whatever way it goes, whatever way is easier.
Oh.
And of course, we're changing to GMG, right?
Correct. Yep. And we can also, if we wanted, we can make this a whole rectangle with the letters bossed out of it, however we want them to look. So it could be 3 blocks, it could be a whole rectangle with all 3 letters on it.
So you're saying if we did the blocks, that you would want the blocks on the hood too?
Yeah, 3 squares or 3 whatever blocks.
I mean, does that change it just enough like we're shooting for?
I think so. I mean, I think that'd be pretty dope.
Yeah.
It'll look good. And then with that much imagery, I don't think we need to do the side trim.
Agreed. Yeah, I mean, that's a lot.
Because that's a lot. And then with the wheels, that'll be more than enough for people to stop in their tracks and be like, what?
So one thing that Barry brought up was the different areas, like the height and then the flat spots, of taking and doing almost not quite a brush look and polish look, but similar to it. So would we do the same thing in the blocks, where like the top was brushed, the back was finished?
Absolutely.
Run that theme through all 3?
Absolutely. Run that theme. That is exactly it.
Yeah, we can get started on the letters right away. That'll be an easy thing, so no problem there. The grill, just because we got that scan and this original was kind of warped and bent, I feel more confident getting the 3D printed part just before we start cutting metal.
And we already talked to we have a bunch of 3D printers, they're just not as big, so we talked to some friends of ours. They have a monster 3D printer, so they said send it up, we're gonna make it happen. So we'll do that, order material, and we'll start machining.
Super cool.
Yeah. One of the cool things that too is, like you were talking about, everybody's going to want us to make them. We're going to actually do some tutorials on how to make them and show the speeds and feeds, the tools, and just the recipe on basically how to machine it. So later on, people can actually go on and then check out Titans of CNC and learn how to do it.
I can't thank you guys enough.
Yeah,
I appreciate it.
Yeah, it's an honor to work with you guys.
Oh, come on, man. It's an honor to work with you, man.
All right, guys, I'm back at the shop. Josh went this morning and picked up our transmission, so I'm gonna mate the transmission and the engine together. For a mock-up, we're gonna put it in the truck one more time, Do a final mock-up with engine and transmission in.
All right, so a big thing that we've been worried about is how tall this LME intake is. This is a monster. We had very limited clearance underneath this hood. So instead of cutting holes in the hood or anything like that, we got thin 2-inch throttle bodies. We barely clear, but now we're running a little bit more issue. It doesn't quite fit. So what we're gonna have to do is take and machine a little bit off of this arm and on here to where it'll fit the profile of LME's intake. The throttle bodies that we're using actually set down and have twin arms that cam off of each other, and when they cam down they actually go below the mating surface, and because this thing is milled out for a big footprint, it hits. So what we're gonna have to do is come in the side, machine out a little notch for the cam to drop into. Not too much, but still scary. We got our intake in, throttle body's on, everything's clearanced out. We got movement in all the arms. We're clear under the hood. It's time to move on to piping and plumbing and wiring, man. This engine's looking great, engine bay's looking great, so let's get it all plumbed in.
All right, so with the theme of this truck having everything tidy, tucked, very nice and clean, we're resorting to having to find space in areas where there is no space. Point 2, here are the heater hose fitting. Right here I gotta knock it out. We're gonna run the lines straight down, in through here, across, go down the frame rail, into the condenser, into the AC compressor. Try to keep everything nice and tidy, very clean, in a very tight space. So now I'm done with lines, routing them. Made this little panel right here, this little kick panel for them, just to protect them from the wheel. Since it is open to the elements, there's just an extra protection for the AC lines and heater lines to not get cut. But then they also travel through this little channel, out through here. Very clean, very simple. It looks very nice in the engine bay. Once we have this fender on and the core support right next to the engine, everything plumbed in, it looks very nice, very detailed, and very minimal space, which is what we've been going with this truck, but it looks really good.
So Josh said that we had to do tilt floor or lift up floor in our truck so that we could show off our curry rear end, but what we're wanting to do is a lot shorter than your normal full lift up. I'm gonna go ahead and get our hole cut and figure out how I'm gonna make all this work. So this is actually our lift panel that's in the bed of our C10. Right now what we're doing is we're getting rid of all the factory bracing, and we're gonna box it in and then plate the bottom so that when we lift it up and we're displaying the rear end and all the stuff, that this piece actually looks good too. It doesn't look like it's just kind of cut open and then thrown in there. So today I did something that I hadn't really ever done before. I mean, I'm 46 years old, and I bought underwear with a little pouch that you put your thing out, not in, but out. And honestly, I put them on this morning. I don't know, something that I'm gonna have to do on a weekend to where I can get used to it and get a feel for it before I just go full on raw dogging life and bring it out to work. So that was the first thing this morning, and then now I am framing out this bed floor so that we can get our door that we built the other day put on and make sure that all that is good. But the underwear thing still just got me so confused.
So we're nailing down the last little bit of our fab work. We got the lifted bed coming in. We got AC lines, pockets, you know, running through the fender well, just trying to clean everything up, do those last minute touches. But here's the thing, we don't know paint color. We don't know interior color. And I think it's time to sit down, Richard, and get this nailed down.
Oh shit, there's two of you. What do you want?
There's two of us.
Hey,
We're gonna
buddy.
sit down and we're gonna figure something out, if you don't mind.
No! No! No!
Well, we've been asking for a little bit. You got any ideas on what you want for paint?
What do y'all think?
It doesn't matter what we think. Whatever. 6 years, I know that whatever I think is wrong.
How about black or green?
No, it's not, dude. They sold out. I called the paint store earlier to ask if they
I done
had
bought
some,
it all.
and you bought it all.
I got some color schemes that I've kind of pulled off.
Okay.
Now, in a way, this has been done before because there's a later on in the 70s and 80s, they did a truck called the Desert Box kind of scheme where it had the brown stripes and there were different variants of colors of yellows and browns and whatever, and then they went down the truck. And I don't think I want to do that because it's been done too many times, but I kind of got two palettes here.
These are really like a
I
bold
like
color
these.
though.
I think these have a lot more pop than this.
I too like this. Is it too many colors? Is it not enough? This gets a little dark for me.
It is.
Same. I agree with that.
And
I was picturing like Maine when
I
you
like
pulled this
that
up.
color, yeah.
And
yeah,
then
but if
having
that's-
accents.
If that's Maine, we can pull in here to Maine.
Correct.
Or a metallic right here.
It really depends on what, if you're doing like a two-tone, if you're doing a stripe, what kind of stripe? Side stripe, big stripe, small stripe.
You know, it's been done a billion times before. 3 or 4 colors, maybe separated with a lighter color.
Is that where you're leaning to? A couple big stripes?
What if they stacked and scalloped? And so you had your body color up here and your
Okay,
body
so they
color.
were staggered.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you staggered them.
Okay.
You know, or there's
back and
the...
forth like a scallop though too.
Yeah, I didn't understand where you were going. I thought you were doing like those.
So
like
instead of coming
sky
around
or
and it's just a
something.
straight line,
Mhm.
and then they turn and go like this.
Come and jaw it.
The front nose cone of the hood comes around and then it drops, and then comes across the hood and goes along top, drops. So
Yeah.
that when you're looking at the hood, you got all the colors, but they've been.
Okay. But the main thing is, what are the body color? That's what we're trying to figure out.
Look, I've got important things to do. Now you've ruined my to-do list. I had flowers for Cat.
She does need flowers, but we need to know color so we can get paint ordered. And then we can do layout stuff all day long when we got it in the booth or whatever.
Well, and it'll also get us rolling on interior too, at least
Yeah.
color wise. So,
I think I lean towards this
yeah.
or this with metallic as the body color.
I wouldn't even hate the solid if the stripes were in metallic.
Work.
Yeah. Like say you did the solid, body solid.
Yeah, they've
you could
done
still do the stripes in metallic and that would still look fucking
It would make
cool
the
as
stripes
shit.
pop a lot.
Yeah.
Because you
And
would
then
almost
do we
lose the
want
body.
1, 2, 3, 4 stripes? Do we want to do 3? Just these 2 in a green? Do we want to do 5?
Kind of like the lighter green.
Yeah. Like this
I
palette.
like the lighter green, for sure. This is the main body. We got 4 metallics in the stripe package. If we do all that, and this is cab color, this would be internal cab if I just
Yeah.
had to say something, yes.
Yeah. I would say exterior, interior on that.
What are we thinking on the chassis? Because this truck's gonna sit on the ground. This truck is utilitarian. I ain't gonna take it to a show and put mirrors under it. So do we just...
We can stick with your normal chassis black, or I mean, I'm painting the chassis. You can do whatever the hell you want. Like if you want to do this flat on the chassis, we can do that. With the chassis and suspension this color, the interior and engine bay this color, and the main body this color, and then all that with the stripes, I think it'd look fucking killer.
Let me trick.
That wasn't that hard.
Let's see. Go ahead and sign this for y'all.
I'm gonna add that to my collection. Got a big collection of these going.
There you go. Take that with your colors.
All right. What kind of flowers you getting her?
I hadn't decided yet.
Don't forget that. What color?
Don't, just go. Just go. Looking at what he's got going on here, and to be honest with you, I have no fucking idea what he wants. So at least I have a color base, so I'm gonna get the colors ordered. And as far as everything else, I'm gonna do like I always do. I'm gonna wait till it's in the booth. I'll shoot the main color, and then I'll tape some stuff up, and I'll go get him. Because between now and then, it's gonna change. Always changes, and
I love it.
I don't know what's happening here. I got my first test fit done on our floor thing, and I'm surprisingly happy with the way it's coming out. I was a little bit nervous about how it was gonna set or if I was gonna warp the shit out of it, but we didn't, so it's looking pretty good. I gotta finish cleaning up my welds and do a little bit more welding along the back edge, and then we need to mount these new hinges that we got and figure that part out. So then we'll get it opening and shutting. So we got the Smoky Roads rod shop hinges kind of in place where we want them and tacked on just to make sure that everything's gonna function the way we want it to. And they're by far better than the first ones I did. They seem to be working great, but we need to brace them up a little bit because they're a little bit flimsy from just being tacked and where we put them. So now we're gonna box everything in and make it all look good, and then hopefully we're on the road to having this sucker done. I look like the, that lady's name? What's that lady?
On The Incredibles?
Yeah. Who's the little tiny lady that does the suits, that wears the big glasses?
Edna?
Nutcakes!
Yeah, Edna. Yeah, I look like Edna with these glasses on.
Instead of like making really cool suits, you just paint shit.
I weld shit that you make, I'm welding it on here, and then I make your shit look fucking sick as fuck.
Is that what it is?
Well, no, I'm not saying that your shit
No, that's fine. Yeah, okay.
I'm just saying it looks sicker and more fuckish.
Yeah. I'll just start regular welding it. I won't take my time.
Oh,
I'll really fuck your world up.
That's not what you've been doing?
Yeah, okay.
So we finally got our bed welded up. We got our hinges welded on. So now it's kind of like the moment of truth on whether or not it's going to open or open the way we want it to. So you want to cut it open and see what happens? Are you ready? Huh?
It might just fall off. Huh? Let's see. Let's find out. Hold it.
Last tack. You ready? Ready?
Yeah. Oh. What we got? What we got? Is it there?
Yeah. I don't know if I want to leave that kind of amount of pressure on it laying down like that.
No, I wouldn't leave it, but I mean, we're there. Nothing rubbed, right? In the bottom where we were in? No, again? No, we're golden, dude. Moves away. Yeah. We got good gaps up here. A little bit of movement, but the hinges are still a little loose, remember?
Oh, God dang, you scared the piss out of me.
I think it's gonna look good.
So it's got shocks like what you would see like on the back of your SUV or something when you lift your gate. Those shocks, but there's 4 of them, and as of right now we don't know the links, so we got to figure out the links so that we can weld the other boxes on, put our shocks on.
So basically I'm just tacking this back on now.
I mean, until we have shocks, because we don't know where to put those other boxes. We got a lot to do and not a lot of freaking time to do it.
2 weeks, Mike. 2 weeks.
Bullshit.
What do you mean? What do you mean?
Alright guys, so we got our friends from Resto Mod Air over here, and this is really our first interior piece that we're gonna make a decision on, and they've brought a lot of stuff for us to look through and go over, and we're gonna dive into it. Let them explain what they got.
This is our newest one right here. So this is the Halo with the LED backlight I showed you guys earlier. So everybody see it's got a pretty classic look to it. It's also very new. I'm not saying y'all be the first people to have it. We debuted it last year at Sema, so it's been out for a year, but it's still very new.
Not a lot of people got it.
Not a lot of people
got those?
Yes, those are classics. They've been out for a long time. This one's less than a year old.
I mean, man, there's the breaking point.
I say we
I
run with
see
it
it
and do
glowing
it.
from here. It looks good.
You don't see that very often.
What'd you do? Hook it up to something?
Got a battery.
It looks good, man. Yeah, look at the
No,
blue,
I'm just
you
magic.
know.
That's
Well,
just
I mean-
magic touch.
We talked to Marsh about doing like a white ambient all the way through the truck. He says it comes in white.
Yep. Comes in.
So,
Well, there, man, I'm in. That's my vote.
I mean, I'm sold on that. What do y'all think?
100%. I like it.
And we just don't tell Richard there was no other options, and he
What
will
options?
love it. Yeah,
What
y'all
options?
make sure
Okay.
to take all of that.
Yeah, y'all saw nothing. Let's do
There we
it.
go.
That's all we brought.
Well, let's do that, and then let's check out those square vents when you get a chance.
Yeah, absolutely.
I think the decision's made. We just gotta start fabricating the dash. Those are a lot smaller.
Wait, does this one light up too?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh God, here we go. I'm glad.
So finally got finished getting the hinges installed. I had to put the shocks on and these boxes, and I wasn't really sure where to put them or where they were gonna go, but I believe I got them in the right place. If I have them in the wrong place, it's gonna shoot this thing into outer space, which we don't want.
Did you say try it?
Yeah, try it. Did it work? Did it like, did you have pressure coming down with it, or?
Look, I had more faith in you than you did.
Man, I had never done that before.
And it's got good pressure to hold it up too.
Really?
Yeah, that's a lot.
Okay. Well, we still need to tighten the hinges. So anyways, what I was telling you before Josh interrupted us, we also welded all this stuff up. So we kind of boxed this in. It's not welded to the fender, but it's just to kind of help keep some of the dirt, grime, and mud out with our big ol' ass wheels that we're putting in here. So, and if you know, guys, never weld your inner sheet metal to your outer sheet metal, because all that's gonna do is cause your bodywork to crack or cause your metal to crack, and you're gonna have nothing but problems. So when you think it's a good idea, just remember, it's not. Let's keep our welding on the edges.
We're getting really close to the end of the build, and this is the point where you start forgetting things. So we're just trying to take our time and line out the last few things, you know, to where we don't forget it by the time it goes to Mike, and then have to go over there and try to fix something in the paint shop. So all sitting down, having a conversation, going over everything, and sure enough, we have skipped a few things, so we're gonna knock those out before it goes to this beautiful man here.
You want a finger bang?
Final result of the firewall. Now, you might be asking, like, what's the purpose of this? The main purpose is going with the look of everything being flat, not having much curvatures inside the firewall, but it's not just for anything. We're gonna be putting the coils right behind the intake where you can just barely see them if you look for them. They're gonna be tucked away. Everything's gonna route pretty good. Firewall's done. All the AC vents are done. Time to get it over to get paint and body.